Welcome to the 2014 edition of the 90 Degree Show, hosted by the Marching Podcast and Blog Talk Radio. Advice may be misleading, but examples are always clear. And here's your host, the Phantom Podcaster himself, Joe Beard.
All right. Good evening and welcome to the 90 Degree Show. I am your host, Joe Beard, and happy to be of service for you tonight. Today is October 12th, 2014, 5 o'clock on the West Coast and 8 o'clock on the East Coast. We appreciate all those listening live and listening in podcast form, whether through iTunes, Blog Talk Radio, our website, Facebook, Twitter, or iTunes, or whatever social media, or however you are on the internet tonight. At the end of the broadcast, if you decide you like the show, then we appreciate a donation to the network, if you feel so in your heart, of course. Just simply go to themarchingpodcast.com and click on the donate button to help improve the show and help build our scholarship fund. All right, we are excited to bring you another show this weekend here in October for our network. Tonight, our featured matchup was originally Prairie View and Alabama State, I believe, but looking again at the schedule and realizing that no one ever goes to Prairie View because of their stadium, so I had to look and see the first matchup over the weekend that people have been talking about, and the winner has been Southern and Alabama A&M. So we will make sure we talk about that this weekend, and we'll touch base a little bit on the featured matchup from last weekend as well. So we always want to make sure that you guys are all in up to date with all what we are doing, and we appreciate all those, again, like we say, listening. We'll probably, looks like we got Rashad coming on in here. Let me go ahead and finish the rest of this, rest of my little spiel here. We try to cover as many bands over the weekend as possible, talking too much each week on the same bands. So for the sake of Southern and Alabama A&M, and we were going to be talking about, we're going to be talking about Southern and the Boombox Classic. This was just the best thing to do. Did not see anything too much either with Elizabeth City and Virginia State. So it looks like, we're going to be talking about Southern and Alabama A&M tonight. We'll announce the winner from the voting last week and briefly touch on the fifth quarter from last week with South Carolina State and North Carolina A&T. Now, there are multiple matchups each weekend, and we cannot touch on them all, but you can help us by calling into the number that you see there on your screen and fill us in on the experience or the matchup that we did not see. You can call in, correct us on something, or explain the feel of the crowd at the game that we're analyzing. Even if you disagree, we are all saying please do so. This show is for the people, and just like science, we want to have as much peer review as possible. So we getting into the show for the night. We're going to announce the People's Choice Awards from last week. I want to touch base on that for a second. We'll go to the website and donate. Go to the website and vote on the matchup, and we'll read the winner. I'll bring in Rashad and talk to him about the zero quarter from yesterday's matchup. The lines will be open for you to call in. The second segment, we'll talk about halftime. We'll talk about the fifth quarter. And then the last segment, our word on the street, and we'll talk about other bands we've seen, potential barn burners in the upcoming season, comments from the web, yada, 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 and so forth and so on. Again, it's another one of those nights where I'm a little bit off. Skype was not working, internet world, and I don't know. I hope you guys can actually hear me. I am on my cell phone tonight. Modern technology is a beautiful thing. I usually have my Blue Yeti mic hooked up to my computer and going through Skype to get all my information and to talk my thing, but it just ain't working tonight. We got a couple people in the chat room. Hello Thank you for listening tonight. Let me see here if I can bring in Rashad for a good little test. Rashad, what's going on, man? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I'm right here, man. Doing good. Cell phone sounds good, bro.
Hey, man. Well, that's what's up, man. Hey, I got the earpiece joints in, too. I mean, this is hella convenient. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't got to be crowded over a microphone, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know what was up with Skype tonight, but I swear, man, I am a creature of habit, and I swear even you probably can hear it in my voice. When things are not 100%, it just throws me off, man. I am a creature of habit. But what's going on with you this week, Rashad? How you been doing? How's Block Band doing?
Hey, everything is moving, brother. We are very excited. Let me see here. Of course, there is the Battle of Bands going on, hosted by Edward Waters College down in Jacksonville tonight. And me and Mr. Graham, you know, we're good buddies here. So I've actually helped. We have helped to sponsor that Battle of Bands as well. So, you know, we're just kind of on a sponsoring thing going on. You know, if they're out there, you know, we'll do what we can to sponsor you because we want to let people know that Block Band's out there, and we want to help you.
That's outstanding. You know, we talked about that a little bit last week. I want to give you props. Let me go ahead. Let me kick off my little. I got to see how I do with my sound effects and my phone here. It sounds weird. It don't sound the same. But I wanted to give you an applause. I saw 100 for Hampton. I think I got the email or I got something. But you have been talking about you wanted to get the ball rolling with that for a little while now. And, hey, I appreciate seeing it. It is in the works, putting up big money for Hampton and the Hampton School District. But the Hampton Band, the school overall. But you, too, just like Rashad, he is on the theme of sponsoring and just to give. We make sure we want to support our bands. You know, we can talk about them or, you know, we can critique. And it's always fun to make sure that, you know, we are keeping the craft going, keeping our livelihoods going, so to speak. But we also want to help these band directors, and we want to help these schools by giving our hard-earned money, you know, when we go out in the real world. No matter what we do, even if it's 5 cents, we are giving something to our band program. So I wanted to give you a shout-out, Brother Rashad. I saw 100 for Hampton, and really excited that you got that going. I'm inspired. I definitely want to try to do something with Jackson State. I know when Cortez gave that money, they did something. They turned the money. They did something. So I need to get myself moving along to just match you, man. How has your experience been so far as getting 100 for Hampton out on the Internet?
All right, so we got a lot of pledges going on right now. And right now we're really just trying to get the buzz out because, of course, you know, when people see, okay, if people look in there, if people I haven't talked to look in there and they see that there is not a lot raised yet, then that doesn't encourage them, you know, to really give. So we're trying to get the people that have already pledged to get on there and say, hey, I'm going to be giving, I'm going to be doing this, blah, 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 so it can start to have a buzz. That way other people I haven't talked to will start, you know, throwing some money as well. And real quick, the main thing I see is it's just going to take a lot of personal communication. Because honestly, if I get a message or something I put in a group called 100 for Hampton, I wouldn't give money. The email is not going to do it.
Right.
You know, Facebook thing is not going to give message. But if you call me and say, listen, Rashad, blah, 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 man, I'm really trying to help out the band and I want you to help me. Almost every single time I've had people that say, man, I'll help you out. And so that's what I'm trying to do is put that personal touch to it. If we get enough personal touches on it and people start giving in, then we can have other people, you know, coming in as well.
Well, that's what's up, man. Like you said, that's really cool. You guys got the minds working to get the ball rolling. And then, of course, hopefully we all can get things moving in our own directions where we can support our band programs. But I wanted to let the world know that, you know, it's out there. And it's really cool now. You know, it's the beauty of the Internet nowadays where, you know, you can find a website just like Blog Talk Radio where we can produce and broadcast and talk about our bands. But, you know, there are sites where you can start pledging money and sites where you can, do so many things now. So definitely, you don't have any excuse for community service. You can definitely get on the horn and do something from your own household. So definitely think about something while we're promoting and building our craft. All right. So moving along, y'all, let's go ahead and get to our first commercial break. I think I went through the format of the show. I am all jambled, but I think I'm okay with the different setup here. But my phone, I swear it's a little convenient. I'm still like ain't nobody hearing me, man, with just the setup. But it's all good, man. As long as y'all can hear me, man, we'll go ahead and keep the ball rolling. Let's take our first commercial break. You can email the show at marchingpodcast@gmail.com. Tweet us at marchingpodcast. Follow our blog 4.marchingpodcast.com. If you are listening live and have a Blog Talk Radio account, you can log into the chat room and leave your comments there. Last and definitely not least, please check out our website, themarchingpodcast.com. Let's take the time to hear from our sponsors. Tonight's show is brought to you by Liquid Effects Photography, The Edge One Productions, Block Band Music and Publishing, bandhead.org. Let's take the time to hear from them now. All right, now see, I got to flip back and forth here. All right, I think, wait. Let's take the time to hear from them now.
Hey everyone, this is Dr. Darian Hampton, Meharry Medical College School of Dentistry, class of 2007, and you are listening to the 90 Degree Show here on the Marching Podcast Network.
Having an anniversary party, birthday party, or better yet, you're about to marry that special someone? Liquid Effects Photography is the perfect choice to immortalize all your most special moments. With 10 years of dependable professional service that can deliver from the conventional to the best in cutting-edge technology and creativity. Come experience the uniqueness of Liquid Effects Photography. We serve the entire upper Midwest and will travel further upon request. Come check us out at liquideffects.com. That's LIQUIDEFFEX.com. Or call us at 773-454-5556. That's 773-454-5556.
From photo shoots to graduation pictures, from probates to band footage, from pageants to yard shows, there's only one team you can count on, The Edge One Productions. Visit theedge1.com and trust me, you won't be disappointed.
Band directors, have you ever found yourselves in this situation? Showtime is quickly approaching. Your budget is quickly disappearing. Your music choices are narrowing. The equipment condition is wearing and your stress level is mounting. Stop what you're doing and contact Block Band Music and find out how we've got you. Check www.blockbandmusic.com, providing music, equipment, gear, and accessories to show style, core style, and traditional bands worldwide.
What if there was a Facebook for bands? Wait a minute, there is. Bandhead.org. Bandhead.org is a social network for HBCU show bands. You can create your own profile and post videos, photos, and comments on Bandhead.org. Need somewhere to post events, audition schedules, job postings? Check out Bandhead.org. Are you recruiting for talent? Go to Bandhead.org. Bandhead.org, a social network for bands.
Chopping It Up is a podcast of one-on-one interviews with positive role models that have a connection through music and or education. Chopping It Up is all about inspiring our youth for a great future and providing a roadmap on how to get there. We also chop it up to give insight to anyone looking for information or hope in their endeavors. Chop it up with us on Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern at blogtalkradio.com/marchingpodcast. Chopping It Up, changing the world through positive interaction.
Hello, my name is Samuel Glover, former graduate at Johnson C. Smith University, class of 2001. I was a member of John C. Smith University Marching Band. My area of expertise was percussion and leadership. Also, I was a drum instructor for a couple of years there. But right now, you're listening to the 90 Degree Show on the Marching Podcast Network.
All right, y'all, we are back, and that is the S bringing us back with a little bit of Backstabbers. It was, I think they played Backstabbers. Good, man. See, I don't know what's going on with the sound or if they over me. I'm in my phone. I just know they cranking it up loud. I got it turned all the way down. But we're back from the...
turn all the way down?
I can't hear. I got the little thing turned down. I swear, man, this is some interesting stuff doing it with this phone. We are back, 718-664-6025. We are in week 7. My man Rashad, we are back from the commercial break. Like I said, that was the S, bringing us back with Backstabbers. And we are in our first segment here. I don't want to hold up the suspense any longer. Let's get to our voting for the People's Choice Awards for week 6. This is the previous week. This would be for our the Atlanta Classic between North Carolina A&T and South Carolina State. A very good matchup. I enjoyed it. I always like to see South Carolina State. But like I said, the Atlanta Classic has definitely been a thumbs up with both bands bringing their best, and they don't disappoint. South Carolina State looks good, and they sound good. It's just, those animations and Nelson Mandela and the Freedom Train that they be doing. But I digress. 718-664-6025. You guys make sure you call in. Let's get to the voting, and let me read. Still trying to pull this up here. That ain't it. But yes, I'm really, really selling it here. Okay, here we go. Yeah, you have to excuse us, ladies and gentlemen. It's a lot going on. Like I say, we are a creature of habit over here. But we are moving it along. So let's go ahead and look at the results, and let's bust out our drum roll, please. The People's Choice Awards winner for Week 6 from the 2014 Atlanta Classic between North Carolina A&T and South Carolina State. It appears we don't have a tie this week. We actually have a definite winner, and that's always a good thing. But with 67% of the vote, yes, 67% of the vote, North Carolina A&T edges out South Carolina State to win the Week 6 People's Choice Award from the Marching Podcast. Again, make sure that you go to themarchingpodcast.com every week to vote on our featured matchup winner. This week, we will be talking about Southern and Alabama A&M. Again, we try to make sure that we touch base on as many bands as possible, but we also want to make sure that we talk about a band that we've seen and we have tape. There will be one day where we'll have the money to fly wherever we want to go, or even assist in giving the two bands money to go and make the trip, just like we want to see Elizabeth City and Livingstone. We want to see some of those matchups go down. But at least we have something to shoot for.
That's why
right
today,
now,
ladies and gentlemen, I'm bringing you 90 for the 90 Degree Show. Everybody who's, if you would go ahead and so feel so led to go ahead and pledge $90 a person to the 90 Degree Show. We can make some of these drinks happen. $90 per. That's right. 90 for 90.
$90 for 90. 90 cents. 90,900. 90 whatever. You know what I'm saying? I won't hold it back. But yes, congratulations to North Carolina A&T. Right quick, I saw the fifth a little bit after we left the show. Tyrone, he was on the show last week. He sent me the link after. I checked it out. I like both schools, and it's a good MEAC competition, so neither band is trying to blow the other into the ionosphere, But I have to say, a lot of my judgment, I wish I was there. It seemed like the person that filmed it, they were like in the middle, but the dome really hurts you, man. You know what I mean? Because that sound ain't, it's bouncing in and out, and them acoustics and all of that. So the bands, as far as on the video, didn't sound like I wanted. I was trying to, I guess, break it down to like the play calling or whatever. But like part of me wanted to give it to like South Carolina State. But I like hearing like the different instruments when I listen to A&T, or just the attention to the musicality. The tubas was cranking though. I definitely can say I really like the tubas in this game. Especially the last song they played. You know me, I don't know the name of the song, but the actual tubas was actually really, really cranking, real articulate with it. And you can just tell, like you said, they're mixing up those parts. I mean, you just hear just difference in their sound. But A&T's intensity and there's, I guess, spontaneity, I guess for the lack of word, if you will, it's hard to duplicate that in the stand. And that's one thing I kind of wanted to run by you as far as like thinking about A&T. A&T blows us away on the field. They just do this outstanding show, and you just like, oh, they're just dope. So then it's like you kind of, part of me wants to expect the exact same thing in the stand. And I think it's hard for them to match up to it. I mean, we've all heard the term, are they a stand band, or, are they on the field? Can they drill, whatever? But A&T, sometimes I just feel myself wanting more from them in the stands. They don't blow you away. They do blow you away on the field, but in the stands, it just feels like they just don't have that Talladega element. That park and blow, that I'm coming for you. I mean, it's like we sound good. Look how pretty we are. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I want somebody to smack somebody around for a little bit. And, I just don't see it from them all the time. But I don't know. I just felt like there were some good songs being played back and forth. I just wish the sound was a little bit better. Not that South Carolina State was like blowing them out the water or whatever. I just felt like giving themselves the edge because I was just maybe expecting more from A&T. Of course, we talked last time at halftime. We both gave it to A&T. But I felt South Carolina State sounded just as good. And I remember we both said at South Carolina State, they sound good now. But definitely, if I had another video that could agree, I guess I could have to do like a high-low or odds maker, so to speak. I guess I have to say, South Carolina State 63%. What you think about the fifth between A&T and South Carolina State, Rashard?
I'm definitely feeling a lot of things that you're talking about there. First of all, let's talk about A&T in the stands. So A&T, have just so impressing me on the field this year. I saw their halftime show from Thursday. They actually performed. Hampton's band didn't attend. They did a 17-minute show, and their show had nothing to do with the show they did against South Carolina State. So I'm like, wow, that's incredible. A 17-minute show that had nothing to do with the show the week before or the week before that. And that's amazing. So it's like, okay, where is the trade-off here? And I think we're starting to learn the Achilles heel of A&T right now. It doesn't seem like A&T is really a stands band right now. I saw A&T earlier this year, and against Elon, and I remember during the whole game they played four songs. I remember somebody commented about the fact, I think they said that that South Carolina State A&T game was a MEAC game, so it was very boring. So I think that's where you're starting to see what's going on. They know so much music for the field, but they really don't know or have a deep register for the stands. I mean, for the stands. And I don't know that that's necessarily a bad thing, because for us as fan heads, that's what we want to see. But once again, taking the Ohio State example, what does the crowd really care about? What sells on YouTube? The stands will be selling on YouTube. You know, that's what we care about. So, but anyway, as far as the actual battle itself, I felt it was pretty evenly matched. I actually gave it to A&T a little bit, simply because at the end, like one of the songs that South Carolina State was playing, somewhere in there, like the trumpets or something just completely fell apart. I was, what just happened right there? It's like everything was going fine, and then something happened, and it just kind of really fell apart. Like it was like the last song or one of the next to last songs that they played. I didn't really see that happening in A&T, so I gave it to A&T. I did see a lot of commentary, though. I was kind of disappointed by the commentary on the fifth quarter.com about it, where they were complaining, oh, please bring back, Southern and Fam, that we didn't have these acoustic problems when Southern and Fam were down there. Well, hello, both bands got 30 trombones.
Right.
Both of them do, you know what I mean? These bands, like, what do you expect? A&T probably has 14 trombones, maybe 16, maybe probably 14. South Carolina State, they probably got 20, 22 or something. So what do you expect? Give these bands a break. They're doing their thing. You couldn't hear them? Okay, fine. Go to the Georgia Dome yourself.
Yeah, but we've spoiled ourselves in a lot of capacities as far as like volume and power. You know what I mean? We really have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we want everybody to have, everybody has, you got to have 30 trombones just to have a fifth quarter.
It sure makes it interesting, though. It looked like when you were talking, man, somebody came in, somebody from the 240 area code. Call and give us your name and where you're calling from tonight.
This is Tyrone from 85.
What's going on, Tyrone? What's going on with you, man?
Not much, man. On our way back to South Carolina from Alabama.
Okay, you guys were taping something over the weekend? You guys were on the move filming, huh?
Yeah, we were at the Alabama A&M Southern game this past weekend.
Yes, indeed. We were just about to get into that. You were calling in good time. We were just about to get into the zero quarter first. We'll talk about what we thought about the zero quarter. And after the zero quarter, we'll take a commercial break, and then our second segment here, we'll talk about halftime and the fifth quarter. Yeah, looking how we have to do the clock here. So, Tyrone, man, since you were there, we can go ahead and give you the lead, man. What did you think about the game? And tell us, what you saw and who you thought won or whatever jumped out at you. We definitely want to know, since you were the first person speaking to the world about the game.
I'll definitely got to give my hats off to both schools. They did pretty well in their own rights. Alabama A&M has improved this year, but the S was just too much further to handle, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like Alabama A&M because they're so clean now, and they have a really good sound. Our man Mario Warren called in and touched base with us, one of the masterminds behind that sound. And I even think, man, I ain't gonna lie, when they opened up, when I heard them, like, they sound good. Like, they're not as loud as Southern.
Oh, yeah.
But I think Alabama A&M sounds good when they open up. What do you think? How did they sound there on the field, or just there at the game in general?
They have a nice, clean, and full sound. I think probably if they get the numbers that Southern have, they could be a contender, but music-wise, I think they need to expand their book a little bit more to take down Southern.
Mhm. Yeah, that's actually kind of bleeds into my next question about as far as like the play calling and as far as the mood of the game. Did the zero quarter really set it off? Well, let me ask you this, because I thought, was there a lot of people there at the game?
No, their stadium was pretty empty for the whole game, man. I don't know, was it the weather that made people not want to come out, or was that just how it is there? I'm not sure. That was my first time going to an A&M game.
Yeah, it's kind of sad when you see it like that, because I was like, man, that's I honestly I don't know where the football teams are in the standings, but I know there's like we say, like Rashad, like bandheads wise, that's a huge matchup for us. And of course, that's like the first thing that I saw on the web from this past weekend. I don't know, I don't know if anyone out there listening know if Virginia and Virginia State and Elizabeth City had a competition. I actually saw Taylor Whitehead posted on Facebook. There was like a battle of the bands that was supposed to be that Friday in North Carolina. Right. So I didn't hear anything about it. I didn't see anything on the 5th about it because I was all excited because, I mean, that would have been definitely our premier matchup. But still, this is still another big matchup too. It's too bad there weren't a lot more people there at the game. But as far other than that, was it really high? Did the zero quarter get things moving? Was it a good game? How did you feel?
Honestly, no. It's all Southern, man. Like the play calling on A&M, they maybe had 2 decent songs, but they sound great playing all the songs that they played. It's just the play calling wasn't there, man.
And like you said, they probably – I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's kind of hard to match up against Southern because their book is just crazy. Craziest book, especially this season. I mean, they have tons of songs to choose from, and you can't really prepare for that.
Yeah, I was surprised that they've been rolling with that Purple Rain a lot, and I've heard that a good number of times. But yeah, they also that IDGAF, and I'll say that again. That's IDGAF. That's I don't, and then GAF. There you go.
That thing
by Little John. Yes, that gets me kind of crunk. I can admit that. I also thought it was cool that they played it, and then Alabama A&M played it back. I have to ask you, what do you guys think about Alabama's rendition or arrangement, if you will, of that song? Tyrone, I asked you, man, what did the crowd like it? Was it a good response when they threw it back at them?
Yeah, that was a bad decision. Bad decision. They're brave. They're brave for doing that to the S, man. And, man, they tried. I give them a round of applause for their effort. Definitely. Just don't do that no more. Don't do that.
Rashad, what did you think of the think that they threw it back and forth at each other? What did you think of that part of the zero quarter?
Just that portion. I'm for Alabama A&M. I'm going to use the F word to describe that. I'm going to drop the F bomb. It was It was fine. It was fine.
Yeah, man.
It's like how was the arrangement? It was fine. It wasn't like, oh wow. It was like, oh, this is amazing. It was just okay. You played it. It sounded good, and that's it.
It sounded. That's it. I guess the reason why I asked is because to me it sounded wrong. Like the key sounded off. I mean, it just sounded a little I don't know. You know,
it sounded
didn't
more
sound
like instead of I don't give a. It sounded like I don't really care about that. Like that's the name of the
right.
song. I don't really care about that.
Right. I'm indifferent to this right now. That's kind of how I felt.
It's okay, all right. I'm indifferent to that. All right,
but it was like, thank you. I mean, it was. I don't know. It was like the key or something. But it was just a little, made me squint my eye a little bit. Other than that, I thought they held up okay. One thing that jumped out at me though was the conditioning. It felt like Alabama A&M was either tired or they were obviously trying to save themselves for the game and for the fifth. Southern, just like, their name, they were jukeboxing them a little bit. They were playing like they were able. I don't know if that's another word, y'all, but like if y'all getting jukebox, that means that the other band just keep playing. They entertaining the crowd, you know what I'm saying? Maybe that's something. But they were playing, and it just felt like they just had more energy, more songs. So that was definitely, a huge L there in the zero quarter for Alabama A&M.
All 11 people in the crowd were hyped.
Right. So I have to ask you, Rashawn. See, that's what I'm saying. Like I need to get quick on stuff like that. You see how late that was. But Rashawn, tell me, what do you think, man, about the zero quarter before we go to our first commercial break?
Okay, I really don't want to use these two words here or these three words here. I really don't, because I am proud of what Alabama A&M is doing. Okay, so I don't want anybody to get it wrong. But the three words I want to use is I was disappointed. I was disappointed in Alabama A&M, and this isn't because they don't sound good. I remember one of my arrangers on staff is actually in Southern's band right now. And we would text each other back and forth. And he says, "Oh, yeah, I'm on my way to Alabama." And I said, "Oh, are you playing State or A&M?" He said, "A&M." I said, "Oh, that ought to be a good battle. They're not going to try to overpower you guys."
Right.
Because I'm like, here's the thing. A&M versus Southern. A&M is not going to try to match Southern power for power with power. So I knew they're not going to try to do that. That's not going to be their ball game. Instead, what they're going to do is say, okay, you know what, Southern? We can't outplay y'all in power, but we can throw some heck of arrangements out there that'll just turn your heads. Because we've got some good stuff. We can play over here, and we're going to make you say, wow. And you know what, Joe? It was complete role reversal. Complete. At least the first two songs. It's like Alabama A&M was just doing the regular swag thing. Like, they might as well have been Alcorn. To their defense, they play a lot better than Alcorn is concerned. But all the arrangements sounded just like standard swag stuff. Versus when Southern started out with the beginning of the Luther Vandross.
Mm-hmm.
What in the world?
Is that what that was?
Yeah. That was from
the very first song.
Long ago. It's like the piano intro for like the first 20 seconds.
Oh man, I've never heard that, but it was dope. I was just like, wow, that was nice. Yes, that's very nice. Kudos to the S on that one. Yes.
Kudos, yes. Have applause. You give him applause for that. That stuff was beautiful.
Oh, hold on. Got to scroll up to the A's. Oh, here we go. There we go.
But, man, that junk sounded so good. The chords were awesome, man. The balance was great. The trombone, oh, man.
Yes.
And then right after that, to come back with that very unique arrangement of backstabbers to say, here's backstabbers, and here's how we play it. And this is our version of that. They were doing all the things that Alabama A&M was supposed to do. Alabama A&M was supposed to come in here and say, you know what? Here's our arrangement. Bam, in your face. And they didn't. So I got to give it to Southern all the way across the board. The only thing I didn't like about Southern was when they played songs from last year. You know, when you get a feel about something, you do it that way. Like every songs they're playing this year are very, very clean. The mellophones are kind of staying in tune a little bit. The articulations are pretty good. But then right when they played that, I don't give a, it was very sloppy. It's very sloppy. That's how they played it last year. So everybody's just moving all over the place and stuff. And I'm like, no. Play it the way you're playing everything else.
Right.
Play it right, you know. But that's what happened. So that was the only thing I was disappointed with Southern. Other than that, it was Southern all the way across the board because they played the game. They played the power game, and they played the game that A&M should have played in order to have the victory this week.
That's a really good point, and I guess maybe that's what they were trying to do with the, IDG or whatever it was. I'm on a different part of the script now. Whatever that song is, I guess that they were doing it different. There was a couple songs that I really liked them playing, and like I said, like when they crank up and open up, they sound good. I mean, they sound even a little bit better than Southern because I think you can hear the parts a little bit more. Like the trumpets come out a little bit more, But again, like you said, if it's the same old funk, swag funk, and it's not like, oh, this is our arrangement, or this is us highlighting our difference in sound, it's you're not gonna beat Southern. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's what it seemed like a lot of the consensus was. I'm still going. Well, that's the zero quarter. We'll get to the next quarter in a minute because I'm looking down here at my clock here, and we're about to have the next, I think, commercial break come up in. But then we got Tyrone here in the chat room. Let's go ahead. I'll put you on hold, Rashad. Let's go ahead and get to the commercial break here. You're listening to the 90 Degree Show, Week 7. And thank you very much for listening. We'll be back after this short commercial break. Again, thanks for listening. We'll be back.
Hi, this is Erica Jones from A Social Life, and you are listening to the 90 Degree Show here on the Marching Podcast Network.
Need to write music and drill? Get it on the field. Outfit your band. Keep your administrator happy and still have a life. Encountering drama in the process, ain't nobody got time for that. Let Block Band Music assist you with musical arrangements and drills to fit your band, and also the equipment, gear, and accessories to keep the visuals, music, and marching on point. Contact blockbandmusic@gmail.com and see how this worldwide minority-owned business can uplift your band.
What if there was a Facebook for bands? Wait a minute, there is. Bandhead.org. Bandhead.org is a social network for HBCU show bands. You can create your own profile and post videos, photos, and comments on Bandhead.org. Need somewhere to post events, audition schedules, job postings? Check out Bandhead.org. Are you recruiting for talent? Go to Bandhead.org. Bandhead.org, a social network for bands.
Hi, this is Chris Jones, owner and founder and creator of March Aerobics. My website is cj@marchaerobics.com, and you listen to the 90 Degree Show in the Marching Podcast Network. Now get your legs up.
Okay, sorry, y'all. I'm still fumbling back and forth between the phone here and the switchboard. You guys were listening to Alabama A&M, one of the songs they were playing, The Fifth. I don't know what the name of that song is, but I really enjoy them playing that song. That song is probably going to be in my head all week. Talladega had a song. I don't know what it was last week, but it was in my head all week. But that song from Alabama A&M is going to be in my head all week. 718-664-6025. You're in week 7 here. We're still talking about Southern Alabama A&M. We got Rashard, and we got from Black Band Music and Publishing, and we got Tyrone from Marching 8 to 5. You guys check out the 8 to 5 entertainment guys there, marching8to5.com for some great videos. Also check out our man, the Edge One, Garrett Edgerton. He is now the official Southern videographer, and we always want to show him some love as well. Both videos are really, really good. I haven't seen Garrett's halftime, but you guys can check out 8 to 5. They got the halftime show up, which we will talk about now. Right quick, I guess I'll give you guys what I thought. I like we always talked about Alabama A&M and their sound. So, I think last year was like the first year in a while I picked them over Alabama State at the Magic City Classic. We had our man Mario Warren call into the show and talk to us a little something. I can't remember who we said earlier. They played A&T earlier this year. I can't remember. Yeah. We talked about Alabama A&M, and I think I said Alabama A&M. I thought Alabama A&M won. I can't remember.
They did.
That was victory over A&T.
Yeah, I think so. We all excited about this matchup, especially going against the S. I wasn't a fan of their drill at all. I like the company squads, and I don't like the mesh formations, but I do recognize that Alabama A&M, they spread themselves out, in good even formations, give the crowd a good even sound, from the base of the field, if you will. I just thought their drill was really easy, and I don't think it was as precise. And then, of course, with the field, I don't know if it's the AstroTurf, but it just didn't look, the field and their uniforms and all the coloring, it just didn't look right. It looked kind of dull. So the drill really didn't help them. And I really think you can beat a band with your drill. Precision can put the crowd on edge, and it can put your competition in check, so to speak. And it's a higher probability, I think, if you can win a battle of the bands with a better drill than with a better dance routine. If your drill is crappy, it can send people to the concession stand. And the Ohio State, we always talk about Ohio State and some of these other schools, that's essentially they're running a drill, throughout their show. So, like I said, I think the precision is really, really important. With all that being said, I don't think Alabama A&M came to play. I think, Rashad, you hinted on it already, hey, these are our arrangements, check out our sound. They didn't slap the S when they came, this is our field, this is how you drill. You know what I mean? It wasn't as precise as I've seen them, especially on the right side. I thought it was a little crooked. And, I already said that, they like to use that space. But just wasn't impressed with the drill. I thought the rest of their show was okay. They had decent energy. But, again, the drill, it just seemed like they just put the drill together. And you got to come with a better drill against Southern. And that rolls kind of segue into what I thought about Southern. Southern's one of the best drilling HBCUs or show-style bands, whatever you want to classify, that we have. And, we could put Southern up against anyone as far as drill, that discipline, that marching. I really think that it's important. So I appreciate their drill. I wasn't thrilled about their actual drill, though. It started out dope. I was real excited when they started because, Rashad said, they started the step twos, and they started out it was a little something. One person started from the end zone, and then another person started from the side. So I'm thinking it was about to be some dope kaleidoscope, but all it turned into was a big arrow, and they were all, and it was pretty straight. I give them that, but it was just a big arrow going down the field. Something less more expecting, I guess, but I still think that their drill was better than Alabama A&M. So already to that point, you've already kind of beaten them a little bit. Then, of course, they ended their show with good energy, a decent dance routine. So they did what they had to do to finish the deal, so to speak. Tyrone, what did you think about the halftime show between the two bands?
I think as far as Southern goes, really nice drill. This is the first time I've had the chance to see them in person. The sound, I was a little worried about the sound because of them going downfield, but those guys put out so much sound that it didn't really matter. As far as the steps too, I really like how it visually came out because once they got down to the center field by the 50, they started doing this whole visual with their capes as they were marching from sideline to sideline. You see that gold flash in front of you and then back to the front. That was really nice. What really
which is that Southern or A&M you talking about?
This is Southern.
Okay.
Their dance routine was something that really stood out to me. Them splitting up the band, one half plays while the other danced. They did really well dancing. I'm amazed at how much sound that half the band can put out. You know, that's crazy that you lose zero volume with only half your band playing. That's sick. Hats to those guys. Now, A&M, I have to agree with you. Something was a little funky with that drill. Really can't place my fear because they started out with correct spacing. Somewhere down in the middle, as they got closer to the sideline, the spacing got kind of off. I think that's what made those formations kind of weird looking on the field. The dancers, they were really good.
Yes, they were. I meant to say that.
They kept their energy out throughout the show. I definitely say that. The dancer team was decent, but compared to the S, I'll take the S.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that out. Our man, Dr. Davenport, is in the chat room, a band aid, that is, and he was talking about the fact that your drill and sound should match to do an excellent show. And we talked about color shift. He let us know the classification term for the color shift. We just talked about that last week, how I think Albany State did they stopped, set a marking time, they stopped marching, and they marched again. I forgot about that, but Tyrone brought it up. Southern did the thing with the capes. They did it in like 3 parts, whereas it's like they did it to the rear and then about face and then got down on one knee. So you saw the blue and gold flash. Even though the field looked really dull, you still saw the blue and gold flash. It'll look good on NBC in HD towards the end of the year, but definitely that color flash, just like what we were just talking about. Sorry, color shift, as Dr. Davenport let us know, really, really important. Rashad, what did you think about halftime, man?
All right, so I guess we'll do the S first. A lot of things I really like about Southern in general. Number one, I really like how when they're doing the downfield, the music is a lot easier than everything else that they play. That's a lesson I've had to learn. A lot of times the Rangers get too creative when it comes to the downfield. And the problem with the drill is the fact that if you're being really creative, but you're throwing your instruments all in lots of different directions, it's kind of chaotic to the audience. You really can't get a good understanding of what you're listening to. That is, unless, of course, the whole band is facing straight ahead most of the time. So I do like how the drills for Southern are much easier. Here's the melody, and we got some chords going on, and that's pretty much it. And then you get to something else. You stand still, and now, hey, we got a little bit more going on. I thought the drill, was pretty cool. I couldn't see it from the front. The video I watched was from the corner there, but I thought it was really cool that we just also talked about Southern doing those downfields and their sound becoming a non-entity sometimes. Well, I guess I was wrong as far as Tyrone is concerned if he was there. but it seems like it would be a non-entity because they're going downfield. But I thought it was cool that they have half the band facing straight ahead, and then the other half still marching down the field, so you don't lose as much at that time. So I thought that was pretty cool that they did that, particularly since we just talked about. As far as their Dance Girl song was concerned, I had some issues with the balance, but once again, listening to it from the corner, it was really kind of hard to tell what was important. You know, it was like, once again, the same thing with South Carolina State last week. Sometimes there's just so much trombone going on, I don't even know what's going on. You know, what's the melody? The same thing you said, Joe, about Talladega. Sometimes there's so much coming at you that you can't tell what the melody is, and that's kind of how I felt with the dance group song. Going to the dance routines, once again, another thing I love about Southern, I love the fact that Southern gets in there and they get out. Their dance routines are never longer than a minute, and it's just bam, and we're out of here. And that's all you need, personally. I think that they dance really, really well as a band. Like, you see a lot of uniformity, and everybody's really getting into it. I've seen a lot of comments on the fifth quarter about, you know, dance routines being a low energy and what would it be like if we didn't have them. But to me, Southern sells those dance routines every single time. That part where they were like, "Oh, we got a new dance for you," I wasn't feeling that. I don't know what the crowd did. I wasn't really feeling that. That was a little part of the show, but everything else they did, I thought it was great. I thought the marching was great. I thought, going back to the drill real quick, even though it was simple, the things that was going on with the trombone, the rhythmic pad in the trombone, whatever that was kind of confusing sometimes. But other than that, I thought they had a great show. A&M, kind of much the same thing I said about them in the stands. Well, okay, so in the stands, you're not going to overpower stuff. In the field, you're not going to out-drill them. So do something different. Like, I thought that A&M would have been like, dude, we've got Southern this week. We know what Southern's all about, so we need to throw everything we got at them. Now, I couldn't see the drill from the front, so maybe they made some really creative and cool things. But, you know, they didn't, like, I don't know, in the middle of the show, jump into a dance routine, or, man, we made, like, a really cool shape and said, hey, everybody look at this, or, you know, a drum feature or something. You know, something that was like, wow, that's outlandish. That was so amazing. You guys can't out-drill Southern, but, my God, you definitely outshowed them. You know, and that's why, like, they did Love Never Felt So Good. Love Never Felt So Good? Love Never Felt So Good? Seriously? Like, that song was hype. That was the hype song for the first half of the season, but it's October now. Why are we still playing?
Right.
Didn't they play Love That Never Felt So Good during the show against A&T?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
A&T, Southern, Jackson, all of these bands have gone through 3 or 4 different shows by now. And we're still doing Love That Never Felt So Good? Now, I think maybe it was part of a mix, and I'm not sure that song was part of the mix before, but still. You know, it just wasn't the type of show that you should have against arguably the top or second best band in your conference. It just wasn't that. The dance team wasn't, the moves weren't hype, they weren't together. It just, and I think that A&M is better than that. I do. I think they're better than that. But they just they didn't get up for this game like they should.
I think that's what we all are in consensus about. You know, and it's not that they were not able to. They definitely had the opportunity to. But definitely that drill, like Tyrone said, there was just something up with just that drill. And they had their opportunities to smack Southern around, you know. As far as you talking about that trombone part, as far as the phrasing, Dr. Davenport wrote in the chat room, when the music is more complicated, tend to lose precision and movement and knee lifting and marching. So I'm sure that after so many hours of practice, you can get it down, but it's definitely easier, I guess, you know, if you're not playing some type of riff and marching. Maybe that's why it sounded, you know, Southern sounded maybe kind of jumbled or kind of messy, you know, when it did. But of course, you know, that's the Band-Aid leaning in there and giving us the knowledge for these directors to have of some of their show. So it sounds like we all agree about, looks like Southern just did the better show. for the halftime. And you're welcome to call in and let us know if you were there, if you thought differently. 718-664-6025. We'll move on to the fifth quarter, which was like, I really appreciate the fifth quarters. It was short, I guess, comparatively speaking, but I still like what I saw from both bands. Southern is louder and powerful, but I still thought that Alabama A&M, when they opened up, they sounded a tad bit better than Southern. I still like Southern and what they were doing, but I felt that Alabama A&M had the book to play with them, and they sounded better, again, like I said, when they opened up. But then there were just some times where, you know, Southern would do something that's just like, oh, you know what I mean? You just had to feel like, oh, like how are they going to respond? But I felt that Alabama A&M, I felt that they did well. I thought that they did better in the stands than they did on the halftime show, so that they did defend home court a little bit better. I really enjoyed their tubas, and the arrangements are just very, very clean. Shout out to the directors. You know, they're just very accurate, clear type of stuff. I hear the melodies and, you know, what the singer is saying, so to speak. And I'm sure that Southern will have something ready for the boom, but just talking about, alluding to what you were saying, Rashad, about things you played last year, or making sure you kind of move on. I heard Purple Rain, and when I heard it in this video, it didn't do anything for me. I think that's kind of like over and done with. Definitely something that you could surprise and throw out at the Bayou Classic. But, you know, we don't really need to hear it anymore. I think it's kind of getting played. I'd rather hear something new from them. But, yeah, the Purple Rain, when I felt that they threw it out there as something that they're using for the fifth, I felt that Alabama A&M, they kind of opened the door for Alabama A&M a little bit. I like the song that they played back. Alabama A&M played back. I like that song, but still, Tyrone kind of alluded to it already. Southern still seems to have a broader range in their repertoire than Alabama A&M does. You know, I hate not hearing so many marches. I wish we heard more marches, but the old funk, old Motown, old soul, we all know we're supposed to have that. You know, you ain't going to surprise us if you play some Shirley Murdoch, or if you play some Earth, Wind, and Fire, you know, or Janet Jackson or Michael Jackson. That's good, but definitely if we start hearing some Logan Mankins, no, that's a football player. If we, I don't know, I just started to think it's just, so if we start to hear something different, and maybe, say what now?
Carl King.
Yes, exactly. If we hear, it's just something different. I mean, you know, I think, like you say, exactly. If just something different, just to open up the book, I think it helps. But I really like the song. The Southern played at the 6-minute mark. I just feel, you know, the fifth was kind of indifferent. Again, like when Alabama A&M opened up, I felt they sounded better. But maybe Southern, you know, it wasn't enough for me to say that Southern just blew them out. We actually got a caller, y'all. And then after the caller, Tyrone, I'll let you go ahead and say what you think about the fifth. Call from the 678 area code. Give us your name and where you're calling from tonight.
Denzel, calling from Atlanta, Georgia.
What's going on, Denzel?
What's going on? I want to know your thoughts on the Mississippi Valley and Jackson State game this weekend.
I didn't see Valley and Jackson State. Did any of you guys see Valley or Jackson State?
Nah.
Did you check it out, man? Did you go to Jackson State, man?
No, I saw it on YouTube. I just want to know your guys' thought on it.
No, we didn't see this. I checked out the S this week. Tell us what you thought about it, though. And then that's another thing too. Like Jackson State Valley, unless I hear Valley's doing something, I don't even think about that game. If you know what I mean. I'm just thinking it's like a massacre or something. Like I'm already thinking it's like a blowout anyway. But what you think, man?
Jackson. They do what they usually do every game. But Valley, they have some tricks up their sleeve this year. I believe they they came with just a little bit more sound than usual. As far as the section by section, I give. I'm a brass dude, so I give the trombones about on a scale of 1 to 10, I give them about a 7. Baritones, I give about a 5. Mellophones, like about a 2, and trumpets, I give them about a 7. So I mean, they came with a little bit more sound. Yeah, and Jackson just did what they usually do. So
what about the half? Did you check out the halftime show?
It was Jackson State's homecoming, so you know how that goes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what, it was our homecoming. I hear people talk about that this week. Yeah, that's interesting because Valley. I think we saw Valley last year. They played Florida A&M, and they did well. And Valley played somebody else really well last year. But yeah, I swear, man, when I see that on the schedule, it's like, I don't want to say it's a bye week, but I mean, Valley. Did you
right?
Did you
Wow.
go to Valley? Did you go to Valley?
No. I'm going. I'll be in Jackson next year.
Oh, hey, well, welcome, brother. Hey, man, that's always an outstanding decision. I just happen to have the applause thing right there next to me. That's so that worked out for me pretty good. Well, definitely, man, it's a good decision for your education. Definitely, we want to let the people know that there's definitely more than bands at our institution. So that's really good, man. What you say you're a brass? What you play?
Yeah, I play euphonium.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all right, man. They definitely gonna be adding to the sound and the power. But definitely, man, Denzel, that's gonna be an easy name to remember, man. Denzel, your crab name might be Training Day or something. I don't know, man. That might be tight when you show up.
The equalizer.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's what's up, man. Well, thanks for calling the show, man. We sure appreciate it, and good luck to you, man. We'll be looking out for you, man, since your name is easy to remember, man.
Thank you.
All right, no problem.
All right.
718-664-6025. You hear our man Denzel just schooling us and letting us know another person entering in the realm would be outstanding. But definitely, yes, if anyone else is out there, and they definitely can let us know what they felt, or like they say, if we're not able to touch all the games each weekend, but you definitely can let us know. Tyrone, I want to get back to you, man. What did you think about the fifth quarter between Southern and Alabama A&M?
Very interesting song selections from Alabama A&M. Southern, like I said earlier, it's kind of hard to match up against that, man. Song for song, you kind of have to just do you and do it well.
Right.
There was one song that I was kind of questioning about A&M. I can't remember the name of it right now. Latch, that's what it was. I'm not sure what was going on in that one, but all the other songs, they were pretty decent and well played, except that one. That one was just weird. That was the one that was played right after Southern played We Are One, I think. And
I wonder.
I for me, it's a bad choice of song to play back to We Are One. But I don't know A&M's book if they had another selection to put in that place.
Right. That's a lot of it, too, sometimes.
Right. You run out of songs. Yeah, you put what you got in there.
So, Rashad, what do you think, man? Because we're getting close to ending the second segment. What do you think about the fifth quarter?
Say what now?
What do you think about the fifth quarter between Southern? Did I get you already to talk about the fifth with Southern and Alabama A&M?
Say what now?
Oh, no, you can't hear me, man?
I missed it. I try to catch up, and I know that's probably really unfair because I know that was probably the best showing of Alabama A&M. They probably had the opportunity to redeem themselves during the fifth quarter versus what was going on. Maybe they were saving songs. Maybe the zero quarter they were just, all right, let's just hit them with some hype stuff. We're gonna save our best stuff for the fifth quarter because we don't know how long that's gonna last. So I hate I didn't see it. But I didn't see it, man.
Well, you are right. It was their best showing of the day, outside of their drill, and outside of I think they marched well. Like I said, their thing is the spacing, and they do that well. But something happened on the right side, so there was a problem there. But they had good energy there at the end. Coming off the field, and they did okay at halftime. Again, they were tired at the zero quarter, seemed like they were saving themselves, but they did show up at the end. I guess that is the lesson, and you are correct in that circumstance. There was their best showing. They know they sound good. They know they have things to throw back at Southern. They were definitely prepared for the fifth, so to speak. I definitely think, man, that like we said, we probably give it to Southern, and that is probably a lot of the consensus on that particular matchup. And again, if you're free to call in and let us know if you were there at the game or any other game, let us know what's going on. 718-664-6025. We're ending the second segment and going into our last segment of the night. We're doing our word on the street here. Coming back from the last commercial break here, that we're going to listen to our sponsors. I'll put the guys on hold. Listening to the 90 Degree Show, Week 7. We'll be back.
Hey, it's the Edge One, Southern University's class of 2013 graduate. You're listening to the 90 Degree Show on the Marching Podcast Network.
From photo shoots to graduation pictures, from pro base to dance footage, from pageants to yard shows, there's only one team you can count on, the Edge One Productions. Visit theedge1.com and trust me, you won't be disappointed.
Having an anniversary party, birthday party, or better yet, you're about to marry that special someone? Liquid Effects Photography is the perfect choice to immortalize all your most special moments. With 10 years of dependable professional service that can deliver from the conventional to the best in cutting-edge technology and creativity. Come experience the uniqueness of Liquid Effects Photography. We serve the entire upper Midwest and will travel further upon request. Come check us out at liquideffects.com. That's LIQUIDEFFEX.com. Or call us at 773-454-5556. That's 773-454-5556.
This is Curtis from 80minutesofregulation.com. From referees whistle to drum majors whistle and back, your source for sports and marching and athletic music. You're listening to the 90 Degree Show on the Marching Podcast Network.
We're back here in our last segment, and I doubled up on my little Southern songs there. But this is one of the other little songs that they played during the fifth quarter. Don't know the name of the song, But really enjoy it. This is fighting with my brain here as far as the songs that's going to be in my brain this week. Rashad and Tyrone, I'm bringing you guys back in. Do you guys know the name of the song that you guys hear?
No, sir.
That's We Are One.
We Are One. Okay. Yeah, that's the bomb. I really, really enjoy that little tune there. I'm glad I know what it is.
Who is that by?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
That tune for last week was Janelle Monáe, Electric Lady.
Okay, is that the name? Oh, that's what that song was right there?
The one from last week was Electric Lady.
Oh, okay.
The one that Tyler Baker played.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I got to find out what this song was by Southern. I really enjoyed that one. It kind of. Oh, I'm sorry. I knew. I think you just said that. We Are One. I'm sitting here going back and forth between the chat room. We were talking about Southern playing Purple Rain. Dr. Davenport said that he heard Southern play Purple Rain in 1983. So I thought that was pretty cool for someone to say that. And probably, who knows, back in 83, it probably was all cranking that Purple Rain. But it's interesting to hear if we ever get a clip of that 83 Southern cranking that Purple Rain and what it sounds like now. We're here in the last segment of the show, and I wanted to ask you guys about something on our word on the street. And I don't know. I'm kind of interested to see what the people think, because I didn't read all of the thread, but I did see on Facebook, and it's hard to say stuff because I see so many pictures of Photoshop and all this stuff. I can't remember the name, amens or whatever they're called, where someone's be like, oh, Jay-Z be like, or so-and-so be like, whatever that is.
Right.
Yeah, I saw a girl in Alabama State's band. We go to the Marching Hornets, and oh wow. Okay, so she had there was a baby in the stand. I don't know if it's real, but enough people had said something about it where I wanted to ask you guys about it. On the fifth quarter, the title, it was She Sacks Miak is the one that put it out there. Oh, I'm sorry. She Sacked Miak is the last one that said something. Old Sleepy Crat is the one that put it out here. Posted it on Monday. But it's a baby in the stands with the band. I mean, it looked close. People were actually commenting like it's real. I'll just ask you this. Rashad, do you know if this is real or not?
Well, people are commenting like you said. People are commenting like it's real. That's basically, all I got on it is that apparently it happened. So many people are commenting. If it was a hoax, they get all of us.
Yeah, I mean, because I don't know, like, is there anything else? Tyrone, have you seen this picture, man?
Oh yeah, and all of the Photoshop and different versions that possibly be thought of.
Yeah, I'm kind of amazed. I'm kind of hoping it's not true. The part of me says that it would be true if we saw it on ABC, or like if we saw it on HBO or something blowing us up. It would be true. Oh, it is.
No, he said it would be true on ABC, just like you saying.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's interesting, man. But anyway, it sparked a long little debate here on the 5th, and I was kind of getting, what you guys thought about it. I was still surprised. Again, I'm hoping that it's not true. That would just be, the worst for us to see. But wow, would that really even be possible? You ain't heard nothing from Bama State or anybody And it would be lovely if someone from Bama State could call, but I'm sure they wouldn't. If that was real, I don't think nobody would put their bandmate out there like that. You know what I mean?
Probably would come to the defense.
Yeah.
But, there's been a lot of conversation about that going back and forth, Joe, and I thought that was really interesting because, some people are really jumping on the young lady's case. You're endangering the baby, particularly their mental, their oral health, her oral health. On the other side, some people are jumping to the mom's defense because they were saying, well, the baby was, there, I guess it was from family or friends and just wouldn't stop crying. And so she took the baby in order to keep the baby from crying, and therefore she was being a good mom, and that people need to get off of her case. She's there. She's still in school getting her education, and that, she didn't let that slow her down. So it's a very interesting conversation that's going on. Personally, Joe, I disagree with it completely. Now, I don't necessarily, people were saying, well, it's bad for the baby for her oral health because it's so loud right there. I don't really know how loud it is right there in that particular area. The band is loud from a distance, but I'm not necessarily sure. It depends on where you sit in the band. However, I think right there in the piccolo section, and also if you see there's another young lady playing the clarinet, and their clarinet is just a couple of feet away from the baby's ear, I do think that's a horrible place to be. I've had, all kinds of instruments blown in my face, and, they don't bother me. But a piccolo, man, even a flute can put me down on my knees up close. Because that pitch, man, that high pitch, whew, And so, from that standpoint, yeah, I think that is a bad decision. Or even a clarinet, if it's high enough and it's blowing right at the baby's face, yeah, I do think it's a bad decision to be there. However, I think that beyond that, it really shouldn't have been a decision that was in the hands of the girl whatsoever. The decision was in the hands of the decision of the band. And basically, what I mean by this is this: every decision that you make for one person in the band needs to be available for every person in the band. So if she can have her baby, and every other young lady, young mother or young father should be able to have their baby in the stands as well. And if they can't do that, then that's not fair. And I don't think that they should be able to do that, so therefore she shouldn't be able to have her baby in the stands. Just like if there's a cheerleader on the field, the cheerleader shouldn't be able to have her baby, right next to her while she's cheering. Or a football player who's trying to be a good dad shouldn't be able to have his baby on the field with him. He's down there to do his job, and whatever he has to do to be a good dad, to take care of his son, a part of that is sometimes I have to work and sometimes I have to be with my son. And so in that same situation, the baby should not have been in the band for that reason.
Yeah, it's a trip, man. I mean, I definitely find myself in my older age trying to have more compassion for people or try to have some other type of understanding. I am the person to get quick and probably not listen to when someone's saying something, or I can get defensive or whatever. So ain't no telling what's going on. But, man, it's still kind of shocking to me that it came down to the band director. What'd you like to say,
Joe, do you think that Alabama State caught an L because they had a baby? Were they trying to pull it? They were trying to pull at your heartstrings.
Yes. I was just about to say that. They tried to pull at the heartstrings. They tried to. And since we talk, since we talk in joke, we really couldn't worry about the kids' health because we are talking about Alabama State and we are talking about their value. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that may be a little something. But just joking, all jokes aside, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm surprised that the band director let it happen. I don't immediately think of the girl, because I think any woman or I think any person would do something, whatever, with their child. And shout out to the people, if you do follow that thread you do see the actual Photoshop of actually someone put a uniform on the baby and gave him a trumpet. So that is actually Photoshop. That is pretty good. That is funny. But I'm surprised that the band directors let it go down. Like, what conversation was that with the band directors where she went to them and she was like, oh, I got to take the baby into the game with us? So did the baby march in with the band, or did someone hold the baby while she marched in? And then when she was there, did they give her the baby while she was in the stands in the ranks? Like, that's crazy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I agree with it per se, but I'm trying to because I have kids, I'm trying to be someone compassionate for, but I don't know.
Right.
Some people, I will read, one person had a really good comment on the fifth. Of course, there was a lot of jokes. Someone said, Bama State is always doing some cool stuff. Always type of, that's not photoshopped at all. She even tried to come to her own defense. One person said that whoever took the picture is shady. Clearly not a huge fan of young mothers or of Alabama State. I think it would have been more appropriate for her to step aside of the band, however. If their band staff let it ride, I respect that. Strong believer in your band program is your band program as it serves its community as it sees fit. Who am I to force or voice such a committed to the issue opinion? That's Soulful Alumni 09 with a really good thought on that. Of course, but a lot of people, like you said, Rashad, a lot of people strongly disagree, and then a lot of people come to her defense. I'm just thinking, well, any other time, any other capacity, we would be allowed to bring our kids and something like that. I don't know. I guess we could leave it at that, and I don't see anyone else. See anyone else calling in, and my folks trying to leave that one alone. Tyrone, what you guys got going on for the upcoming week or for the rest of the year with Marching 8 to 5?
This weekend coming up, we got FAMU versus Howard up in D.C. at Howard's Homecoming. That should be an interesting one since this will be the first time FAM will be up there since '86.
Wow.
So,
we definitely got to get that on.
After that, we're supposed to be going down to Daytona again for the Cookman North Carolina Central game. That's still to be announced. Wrapping up the season, we'll have the Battle of HUs in the Florida Classic.
Okay. I have not seen Bethune-Cookman this year and haven't heard a lot of them. Have either of you guys heard anything about Bethune-Cookman this year?
I think they had a game at the. I think they had a game. I think they had a video tape recording like way at the beginning of the season. I think I saw it and I thought it was, that's Bethune. It was good. That was Bethune. Maybe they just haven't played any bands, so they haven't really been anything talked about.
Yeah, haven't been a lot of conversation about it. Rashad, what do you guys got on the radar? Word on the radar.
Right now, so of course, Block Band is doing our best in order to, find out about different competitions that are out there and sponsor what we can. Of course, we're trying to provide as many different products and things as we can to other bands. We want everybody to know right now that we are starting to work on our Christmas music. And so, first of all, we have an extensive catalog of Christmas songs. We have about 10 songs in our repertoire right now. And we're going to be adding probably another 6 to 8 Christmas songs to our catalog. So as people are preparing for Thanks parades and Christmas parades, you can reach out to Block Band. But there's a lot of arrangers out there, but a lot of them don't really have a lot of Christmas. So you can reach out to Block Band to be able to get that stuff.
Well, that's outstanding. Guess we're getting to the end of the show. I know we'll be on next week at the same time. We'll talk. You said Howard and FAM. We definitely might have to add that to the list. following the 8 to 5 guys, talking about a good matchup. I haven't looked at the schedule. I know that the Boombox Classic is coming up sometime this month. I don't know when, but I know it's on the horizon. And
October 25th.
October 25th. Okay, I know it's this month. And we're going to do something special for the ladies here on the 90 Degree Show. We're going to have a lady show where we have some interesting female directors and female expertise to grace our presence. We usually have a lot of guys, a lot of brothers calling in. We have a lot of female listeners, and people contacted us on Twitter that are female. But we want to hear more female voices here on the Marching Podcast Network. I know we reached out to Christy to be on our panel, but Christy's really busy there working on being Dr. Christy, as she will be pretty soon. And she'll get to it when she has the time, I'm sure. But please, young ladies, please be a member or join the family of the 90 Degree Show, and we're definitely going to be trying to get more the female persuasion to call in and grace us with their presence. So we are really, really excited to hear from you guys. Have a good, blessed week, Tyrone and Rashad. And it's always good to hear from you guys. And we'll always be thinking about you in pub and marching 8 to 5 and block band music and publish it throughout the week. So you guys take care. Have a good week.
You too, man.
You too, buddy.
All right. So we'll come to the end of the show. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor or patron to the Marching Podcast, please contact the show and we'll give you the criteria so we can start to pub your business using our platform. We'll play your commercial, we'll post your website on our blog, and we'll help send out your information through social media. So contact us so we can help build your business. We're in the final segment of the show, and we want to thank you so much for listening. We're coming to the end and giving our shout-outs to our wonderful panelists. Please check out themarchingpodcast.com, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Thanks to you for listening, and remember, the lectures you may deliver may be very fine and true, but I'd rather get my lessons by observing what you do. See you next time.